All right, now listen. I had to come back. Why? After a game like that, you just have to talk to somebody. Anyway, a little Snapple from, of course, the great folks at Coons Market earlier today. And something else. And I know my man Ty Blue would appreciate this. You know, Memorial Day fast approaching, 4th of July. We talked about this in the Coons Cooking Hour earlier today, that great company that is Nabisco. Just in time for the summer fireworks season. I love it. Oreo fireworks with Pop Rocks inside that creamy filling. Ty Blue, you and I all about marketing. Tuesday night at 8 on News Radio 1020 KDK. He'll join me to talk about the Penguins as they get ready to hopefully close it out at the Canadian Tire Center after today's big win. But also the marketing of the NHL. And, of course, with the Pittsburgh Penguins having a chance to be back-to-back Stanley Cup champions, that has to do everything but help the brand. But, Ty, what about, very quickly, before we talk about this game, do you think the NHL is finally getting it and how to compete on a national stage with those other sports like football and baseball? Because, you know, when you listen to the voice of Doc Emmerich and you watch the coverage on NBC, you see what the Penguins did today, scoring 7 goals. It's got to help furthering the cause of promoting the great brand that is the National Hockey League. Good evening.
Hey, Rob. You know what? I think they are. I think they still have a ways to go. The one thing that they, I think, fail in a little bit, the team that play Stanley Cup hockey, these playoffs are unbelievable. I don't care if you're a Pens fan, Senator fan, Predators. They need to market their stars, I think, more. And I think that's where they fail a little bit. You know, when you talk about the NFL, you think about Tom Brady. You talk about Steph Curry. You talk about Duncan for the NBA. You know what? We don't see enough of Sid. We don't see enough of Gino. Even, I hate to bring it up, but Ovechkin and some of the great players in the league. I think when those names become household names, I think the league is going to take that next step. The quality of the games, the excitement is, I think, at an all-time high. But I think the league needs to do more marketing and get these stars that we have, blessed to have these stars here in Pittsburgh, on a national scale, whether it's advertising, whether it is on the Today Show, on Jimmy Kimmel, and I think they fail a little bit on that, but they are getting better. And a game like this, and I'm sure the NHL is praying for the Pens. Nothing against the Senators here, but a Senators Predators or a Senators any other game lineup, I don't think it's really going to resonate that well. So I think they want to see Sid and Gino. I know I do as well, and just a phenomenal game today.
Yeah, Anaheim and Nashville go at it again tomorrow night.
Right.
They're getting closer to deciding the Western Conference Championship. You know, speaking of the NBA, right now, 35-24, just underway, Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Final, and Cleveland out in front of that one. Without Isaiah Thomas, you have to believe the Celtics are in a whole lot of trouble. And the unbelievable postseason, undefeated to this point, continues for Cleveland. More on that tomorrow morning from the Pratt Pack Gym. Billy Herschel on the PGA Tour, the AT&T Byron Nelson, Irving, Texas, just outside of Big D, Dallas, wins it in an exciting playoff against Jason Day, who had an incredible final round to just get there. And Chad Kuhl, after a couple of dismal outings, watched a little bit of video and got it together today. 5 scoreless innings. Bucks win 1-0. So the Pirates win again. Tomorrow night they're at Atlanta. And, of course, you can hear that on 93.7 The Fan. Chris Mack and Jack Sorenzik get it started on the pregame show. You were talking about stars, and you think about Malcolm and you think about Crosby. Crosby scoring today. Evgeny Malcolm having 3 assists. He now has a total of 23 points in the postseason, more than anyone else in the NHL. We know what they can do. But how about Rowney, who waited to be 27 to get to the NHL? He turned 28 on May 10th. He has 3 assists today. And then your man, that wonderful Rust root beer from the good folks at PLB Sports, he gets a goal and an assist today. Nick Bonino comes up with a couple of assists. You got guys like Scott Wilson, Matt Cullen scoring today. Mike Sullivan said it would take 12 forwards and 6 defensemen, no doubt about it, and they just did everything right today, and they crushed, I repeat, crushed Ottawa 7-0. Your thoughts on a big win for the Pens, who now lead this series 3-2, Ty Blue?
You know, Rob, it is amazing. 7 goals, 7 different players. Carter Rowney, who in 2015 was down in Wheeling, forget about Wilkes-Barre, was playing in Wheeling. Mike Sullivan, I don't think gets enough credit. It is utterly amazing what he's doing with all these players that he's brought up, integrating these people with Crosby and Malkin, Kessel. It is incredible. And one thing that I go back and I think about, and why I love this team, is that this team is so incredibly unselfish. And I think it really starts with Marc-Andre Fleury. Yes, Matt Murray had a shutout today, unbelievable in goal. Didn't really have to work all that hard today, but Marc-Andre sits on the bench roots for his teammates, roots for Matt Murray, and they're not even in this position if the first 2.5 rounds isn't about Marc-Andre Fleury. And I know he didn't play today, but that's just a statement about this team. And if you see the 3 stars, it's Roundy, it's Rust, it's Murray. And think about it, these are all Wilkes-Barre guys. I mean, Rust was up a little sooner than the other two. I think this team is destined for the Cup. You and I talked before. I think it's going to be 6 games. I think Ottawa is completely and utterly out of gas. I don't know how you recover from a game like this. The game on Friday, 3-2, good game. They came back. They scored 2 goals. This game was absolutely a whitewash. I know they're going to come out hard, but it's just an unselfish team, unbelievable team, and they can roll 3 or 4 lines and play with anyone. It was just a utter beatdown with 7 players scoring a goal each.
Yeah, Murray, 25 saves on the night, and they beat up Ottawa to the point that their captain and defenseman, Erik Karlsson, didn't even get off the bench for the 3rd period. Ty, can't thank you enough. Go Pens, and remember Blue Skies Charity for helping those suffering from Duchenne muscular dystrophy, and check out all the great products at a store near you with that stamp of approval from PLB Sports. Ty Ballou, Rob Pratt, good night. Great win for the Pens. We'll talk to you tomorrow from the Pratt Pack Gym. And don't forget, tomorrow night, we start off with the Allegheny Health Network program, Medical Frontiers. Very interesting program tomorrow night. We'll be joined by Jim Meredith talking about the amazing brand of Amazon. And you will not want to miss this to hear truly about an American success story that, well, can it be duplicated again? It's going to be pretty difficult to do that. Also, Dr. Terry Madonna stops by to talk about President Donald Trump, who is moving on to Israel to meet Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. We'll have audio of all of that, plus his speech today in Saudi Arabia, and an interesting commencement speech at the University of Notre Dame given by Vice President Michael Pence. We're talking about that with Dr. Terry Madonna, and we also look forward to May 29th, which would have been the 100th birthday of JFK. And in the 10 o'clock hour, John Mowad on the movies. We preview the Memorial Day weekend box office and what is going to be a movie at a theater near you. Good night, everybody.